Hey y'all, good morning. I hope all is well with you and yours. Welcome to Burgundy Blue Commentary, where we talk about what we want to talk about when we're ready to talk about it. So I want to talk about Savannah Guthrie right quick and what's going on over there. So as we know, her mother, Nancy Guthrie, has been missing for the last 7 days. We'll be on day 8 tomorrow. They had two deadlines. One deadline was last week, and they missed that one, and they said that if they missed this deadline, it will be harsh consequences. So Savannah and her family asked for proof of life, and they did not get that at the time. Now they have received another ransom note, and that note made them have a reply. But I wanted to just report what happened overnight last night, and that's that they went through Savannah's sister Annie's house. Okay, so detectives went through the sister house. Now, I'll say this, like this is all alleged what I'm saying, but this we'll read the reports. I'll say this. It's not unusual for them to do that because I think that was the last place that they saw Savannah's mom, Nancy. So she had dinner there, then she went home, right? So okay, we'll give them that. My gut feeling is something different, and that doesn't matter in this case, I guess. But it was just I just feel some kind of way about Savannah. They're not communicating. The people with the ransom, they're not communicating. The abductors, they're not communicating with the family at all. And I just find that strange because they're only communicating with the news outlet and the sheriff's department basically, and in Arizona at that. And I just find this really odd. Like, in my opinion, like they probably don't want to contact with the family because the family may pick up who it is. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong. Hey Guardians, hey Ted. Good morning, Kendra. So let's look at this report. And I also noticed how Annie is the only one of the siblings. It's only 3, don't get me wrong, that has not spoke up. But maybe that's fair to say because people automatically just sort of accuse the husband. But let's go here. Let's see.
Begin here at 11 with that breaking news in the search for Savannah Guthrie's mother, Nancy. Tonight, investigators searching the home of Savannah's sister and brother-in-law.
This comes hours after the family made a new plea for their mother's safe return. NBC4's Robert Kevonstage is live now in front of the sister, Annie Guthrie's home in Tucson, Arizona, with the very latest. Robert?
Kathy and Jonathan, the very latest would be that those investigators left this home and the property just about an hour and a half ago. While inside, there appeared to be camera flashes coming from inside of the home as well as inside of the garage. The house, as you said, belongs to Annie Guthrie and her husband, but it has been empty for the last several days with only security guards parked outside, and they remain here tonight. Now, the purpose of their presence here this evening, the Sheriff's Department telling NBC News they are continuing to conduct follow-ups in the investigation into the disappearance of 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie. They have been here before, and tonight, sheriff's detectives returned to the home of Savannah Guthrie's sister, Annie, and her husband. Earlier, Savannah, with her sister and brother beside her, pleading for their mother's return.
We received your message, and we understand. We beg you now to return our mother to us so that we can celebrate with her. This is the only way we will have peace. This is very valuable to us, and we will pay.
Yesterday, investigators were back at Nancy Guthrie's home. Drone video showing FBI agents searching every inch of the property, disconnecting and removing a device from the roof and climbing up a ladder into dense vegetation. A vehicle believed to be Nancy's towed away. Investigators also looking for potential clues in a second note sent to the same Tucson TV station that received a ransom note through their anonymous tip line earlier this week.
I did not enjoy receiving that.
Authorities have not said what's in it, if it's connected to the first note, or if either is legitimate.
There is something in there that we believe they're trying to convey.
The station's news director also sharing the latest note was not a ransom demand and did not include proof of life. We do not know if Savannah is referring to this message when she speaks to a possible kidnapper.
We received your message and we understand. We beg you now to return our mother to us so that we can celebrate with her. This is the only way we will have peace. This is very valuable to us, and we will pay.
After Savannah posted that Instagram video, the sheriff's department telling NBC News they had no comment. Earlier, they stated they have no suspects and no persons of interest in the investigation at this time. The sheriff's department also making it clear that they would have nothing to say publicly unless there was a, and I'm quoting here, significant development. Live in Tucson, I'm Robert Kevonstage. Kathy and Jonathan, let's go back to you.
Okay, I think it was, and I'm not a detective or anything like that, of course, right? But I feel like it was really late for them to search the last place she was. Like, for them to, they went by the house, and now they're doubling back, going back. I think that Annie is really, really close. I don't think Nancy. I think that Miss Nancy is really, really closer than anybody. That's just my thoughts on it. Like, she's somewhere nearby. And you want to always keep hope and hope that she's okay. It's just, that's scary. You know what I mean? Like, I lost my mom in a grocery store and panicked. Okay. So if you're just taking someone's mother away and you don't know if she's eating, if she's warm, if she's safe. And then they said the first note said that she was okay, but scared. That's scary by itself. But I just feel like this part right here, it do sound like they're almost talking about Miss Nancy in a past tense. I hope I'm wrong. But that brings up another question. Okay, if that is true, how do they get her back? How long would you hold on to her before, her, if it is true, like if this is alleged, her remains are in great condition, even if she died of natural causes, because they were supposed to have her medicine, right? But then that brings me back to hope. If she is alive, because who would know what kind of medication to store up for her? And it's really tricky how they took the Apple Watch, from what I understand. And she has a pacemaker. You guys, why can't the company with the pacemaker track her some kind of way? Because it's like an app nowadays where you can track the pacemaker and all of that. It just seems like this search is just really a little bit lenient. I know they're bringing out all of the like FBI and sheriff and all of that, but it just seems really, really, really lenient to me. Even when they offered the reward of $50,000, like I was like, that's, no offense, it was, I was like, okay, this is Savannah's mom. $50,000, like that's probably chump change, right? I just feel like it was somebody that knew. And I don't know. I don't know. I don't know anything like about, like it's just like it's just a gut feeling. Like I just feel like she's too close by. But how do they get her back? Where's the drop off location? She said, now we will pay. But one thing that stuck out to me is when she said, this is valuable to us. Not my mom is valuable to us. Our mom is valuable to us. Just this is valuable to us. Almost like she's speaking on a shell, not her mom. So not, like she was like, I understand, we understand. So we pray for the best, but we'll see what happens. I think it's somebody that knew. It's somebody close to them. Possibly a family member, but possibly a neighbor or something like that. Like, who would go in there and take this woman? And I know people are saying like it was the Epstein file people and stuff like that. I think it was more close than that. And good morning, exactly, Erica. Everybody, hey, Hiram. All right, let's go to this one, and then we'll get out of here, get our day started. I don't know, it just seems so close.
See the family posting a new video overnight with a plea for her safe return.
We received your message and we understand. We beg you now to return our mother to us so that we can celebrate with her. This is the only way we will have peace. This is very valuable to us, and we will pay.
It is just such a heartbreaking video, and we have new details here. They're also emerging about the investigation. Former FBI agent Brad Garrett will join us in a moment here, but first, ABC News Chief Investigative Correspondent Aaron Katursky is live in Tucson for us. Aaron, good morning.
Good morning, Gio. That new anguished message from Savannah Guthrie is difficult to watch. It is short and pointed. The family promises to pay to get their mother back. This morning, 1 week after police say Nancy Guthrie was abducted from her home in the dark of night, her children are grasping for some way to get their mother returned. Savannah and her siblings clutching hands in that Instagram post that begs, bring her home.
We received your message, and we understand. We beg you now to return our mother to us so that we can celebrate with her. This is the only way we will have peace. This is very valuable to us, and we will pay.
Law enforcement sources told ABC News the message is the same one received Friday by a Tucson television station. The FBI and Pima County Sheriff's Department said they had been analyzing it, but the sources said they have not determined its authenticity. An earlier, also unverified message included a deadline of tomorrow.
While we advise and recommend from a law enforcement perspective, any action taken on any ransom is ultimately decided by the family.
Savannah's gut-wrenching plea came at the end of the day with no new investigative leads. Hours later, officers seen leaving her sister Annie's home, but still there are no suspects, no video, and no proof the 84-year-old in fragile health is alive. It is.
Okay, I have a question for you guys. So remember they said that it was blood. It was blood found at the front steps in the house. Question. Just throwing it out there. If it was Annie's blood, would they know a difference? Because they're related. Just throwing it out there. Like they were like, oh, we confirmed that it was Miss Nancy's blood. But if it was a relative of blood, would they even know? Direct relative? Just throwing it out there. Just wondering.
Been a week since she failed to show up at church and her family reported her missing. Nancy Guthrie, who appeared with Savannah from time to time on the Today Show, now appears on billboards in Phoenix, El Paso, San Antonio, and Houston. Investigators returned to her home, inspecting cameras on the roof and towing a car. The FBI went door to door in her quiet desert neighborhood, hoping someone may have noticed something in the wee hours of last Sunday morning. That's when police said in a 45-minute period, a doorbell camera was disconnected. A possible intruder was detected inside, and Nancy Guthrie's pacemaker disconnected from her phone. The sheriff told us he has to believe she will be found.
And it's so, okay, so, and that was another thing people were saying, like, the security system on $1 million home was like a Ring doorbell, and nobody had access to, like, usually a lot of people have access to each other homes. You know, my relatives have access to my home. I have access to their home, whether we got Ring or whatever, where we can look up, you know, each other if something goes, you know, awry. I think that's important to have, like, you know, that. And considering she was 80 some years old, like, I would be looking at the doorbell every time it rang when if I got an alert, right? Nobody else had access to the mom's camera, and that was the alarm system on $1 million house, a Ring doorbell, you know. And you guys, I want to be fair. You know, y'all, the thing about the doorbell cams, they're just that. It's not really, you still should have an alarm system on your home, in my opinion, because it'll alert you. But the doorbell camera, after the deed is done, all you can do is rewind it. That's all you can do. You can't do nothing else. You just can rewind and show what happened. That's it. That's it. Whatever crime took place, that's all you have is the rewind. That's it. You know what I mean? The crime has already happened. So, I mean, hopefully you catch something in the mist, but that's it. It's just a replay. You know, it's good to have, but try to have an alarm system too, that alerts your family. I agree, Donna. Yeah, and Ted, that's what I heard. They didn't even pay for the subscription. I'm like, that's not on auto pay. Like, you know, some people just be having, you know, they can't afford the $25 a month. And I hate to judge, but you know, one of y'all could just have mom's subscription on your phone, especially if she lives alone. I hate to judge like that. But you know, especially them being well off like they are. But then they probably thought they're in a safe neighborhood. They probably grew up in that house and nothing's ever happened. So don't even, you know, some people just get caught off guard like that. Like, this is the safest place on earth. Nothing will happen. But if she walked in, or somebody, because they said the garage went up. What if somebody came back and then she just opened the door for him, or opened the garage for him because it was someone she knew? You know, like, come on in. Oh, you forgot something? Or you had to pick something up for one of the kids, whatever. And then they take her. If she knows who took her, even though we're staying positive, right? We're sending positive energy. If she knows who took her, they're not going to give her back. That's the main downfall. Like, if she knows who took her, they're not going to return her, because she'll be able to tell who took her to her family. Even if she doesn't tell the you know, the feds and all that, she keeps her mouth closed and like, no, I'm not saying anything. Once she tell her family, it's on and popping, right? It's just, man, it's just so sad. Like, this is like torture, right?
Would I operate from any other position, then my team is operating from the same position. She's out there. We're going to find her. We have to operate from that position.
You have to have hope.
Absolutely.
From there, under the tree, there's
The frantic search is drawing worldwide attention, but for Savannah Guthrie and her family, this is a deeply personal horror of sadness and frustration. Guys, the police were tracking a possible vehicle of interest at a nearby convenience store that may have been spotted during that 45-minute window when police believe Nancy Guthrie was taken. But Janae, there are no new leads this morning.
You said the horror, the anguish for this family as this has.
And then I hate this because, okay, now if she passed on or something like that, okay, Lord forbid, but she passed on. They did not ask for a ransom in this next note because they probably feel like they didn't have anything to exchange. And if they did exchange remains, if that's what it came down to, they probably feel like they're going to be chased after forever. You know what I mean? I don't know. I have no idea. So tomorrow is the deadline. So I'll keep you guys posted because I just find this story interesting. And as you know, on this channel, unfortunately, you know, we try to find a lesson in things, and you know, maybe the lesson is that we tighten up around our loved ones too. You know, how we could take things for granted, even if our loved ones live independent lives, no matter what the age. You know, a single person living by themselves, a elder person, a person that living independently, driving here and there, or a you know, or someone with possibly a disability or something like that, that just needs to be checked on a little more, no matter if it's physical or mental. Maybe this lesson is for us to always just check up a little more on one another. Because it seemed like Savannah's mom was just living her independent life. That was another thing. Her and Annie live 15 minutes apart, and they put her in an Uber. Like, you're not gonna come, nobody gonna come get her. You put her in an Uber. I don't mind getting myself in an Uber, but some people I just be like, no, I don't trust a Uber to take you. I'll come get you. Good morning, Scott. It's just really sad. And we'll just follow up on this. But I'm gonna tell you one thing. Now, this Berg talking. If we find out, Annie, it was you or anybody around there, it's gonna be some problems. Now, I don't know what kind of problems it's gonna be, but shame on you. Shame on you if that is the case. I hope it's not the case. Because that's gonna rip their family apart if that was something like that. And I want to go back to just why they took so long to even go look in the house, and what did they bring out of the house? I don't know. And if it's, one thing about it, guys, if it's more than one person, like Donna, if it's more than one person that was involved in this, somebody's gonna get scared and squeal, especially if this poor woman met her end in this kind of situation. That's what would be horrible. Like, just because she's 84 doesn't mean she didn't have more life to live. You know what I mean? She could have had plenty life to live, and spend with her grandkids and great grandkids, and y'all took her up out of her house in the middle of the night. What is that about? What is that about? And this is another thing. They won't say if it's forced entry or not forced entry. That was another thing. Because would someone have access to her house just to be well-being? I don't know. I agree exactly, Erica. Like, the missing, I think it's just like y'all just woke up and just, but this is what they're saying too. They're saying what little they can say. They're saying how you guys they're saying how hold on one second, I'm sorry. You know what they were saying? They were saying how whoever did this was so well thought out. It was already planned. So this could have been planned, for months. And because they can't trace the email. They can't trace the Bitcoin. They just know it's a good address to send the money to. And they can't trace any. Y'all, if I leave my house right now, just driving down the street, it's going to be at least 4, 5, 6 Ring doorbell cameras catching a car or something. I do understand these are $1 million homes over there and they're a little more spread out, but it's not a main street or anything, or nothing caught nothing, a floodlight, nothing caught nothing. Her Apple Watch didn't ping, her heart monitor just shut off, pacemaker, I'm sorry. Nothing, even the people that took her, nothing pinged on them, no satellite on the car. They had planned this out. Like, this is something. This is just something. Well, we'll check in tomorrow. They said tomorrow's a critical day. And I'll be back. And you guys try to enjoy your Sunday. We'll keep our prayers out. Keep our prayers out. This is getting a whole lot of attention. So the fact they can't find her at all, I have no idea. Like, I don't trust the media like that. So I don't know what's going on, but we shall see. Okay. I will see you guys soon. Take care of yourself and each other. Enjoy your Super Bowl Sunday. Bye.